Aha. All right. Okay, guys. So welcome to Econ 110. That's Introduction to General Economics. The CRN that we're in is 10557. We're scheduled for Saturdays from 11 to 2, and that brings me to my first question for you guys. The 11 o'clock start in the past has been problematic for students, in particular students who are at home and have children, because we're in and about our lunchtime period where there may be a need for us for some people to kind of put family in gear and stuff like that. So my first question to you guys is, would you like to move the time? So I'm going to suggest that we could move the time to one. We'll do the class from 1 to 4. So, but we need to kind of get some consensus from people to see whether or not that would be good or bad or whatnot. Because I found in the past that lunchtime is kind of a tricky time frame for most households, because it's kind of one of those time frames when things are kind of busy in the house, especially on a Saturday. And some people also have to do groceries, or they had to go to the market as part of their thing. So tell me, speak to me, and let me know what how you all feel about that.
So true. Yes.
Uh,
It really needs a pushback. Well, my preference is for one.
all right, so that's
Yeah.
one person.
I agree
Vilafana,
with you.
Francis for one, too. I
I
will,
agree with the one.
yeah,
one. So
yeah,
we'll go
one.
one, we'll go 1 to 4, and I'll set up any subsequent classes that we have for that. Everybody is in agreement with that, or any
Yeah,
people
that
problem?
that
Yes, sir.
that sounds better, honestly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Also, especially after Friday, some people might have a Friday night class, and they may want to sleep in a little bit, relax. All
Yes,
right.
sir. I do have a
Yeah,
Friday class, a 5 days on a Friday, and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I also work. I also work shift system, so
All right.
I gotta
So,
work around it.
well, in terms of the shift system, that's why we're recording the sessions, so that if you
Okay.
do have to work and you're missing a class, or you can just clock in with the class, because we have actually two people who are currently at work, but they're in class right now. So what they're doing more than anything else is just listening to the class while it's on. Um, Hats off to them, because I know that might be a little distracting for their job. I hope their employers don't give them a hard time about that. So we'll see how that works out. All right. So subsequently, we will begin classes from 1 o'clock. I will set up the next set of classes that come up from that. All right. So before we get too far in, I'd like people to kind of introduce themselves. I don't think I know any of you all from any of my previous classes. Um, so this for me is going to be a kind of get to know everybody. So I know Miss Vida Lucas is at work right now, but I'm just going to ask whether or not she can do a
Hi.
short.
Yeah, I'm here right now.
Can you speak now, or is it?
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so let's quickly get you out of the way then. Um, what what program are you doing in Costa?
My associate's degree in psychology.
Psychology, and how far into it are you?
I believe I'm in my second year.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Miss Villafana, all right. Thank you, Miss Villafana. You believe you're in your second year?
Yeah, I'm in my second year.
You're in your second year. Okay.
Mhm.
And why did you choose this course?
Well, I did econ when I was doing CAPE,
Right.
so and I really liked it then. And I don't like maths, and I had to do it was between econ and maths, so I wanted to do econ first and then maths.
But econ is applied mathematics, so
I know, but uh, when I did Cape, I did it with Mr. Dave Ramsing, and he was really helpful and really nice. So he's still around in my life, as opposed to my maths teacher, who I don't talk to anymore. So I feel a lot more comfortable doing it with you. And then also I had a colleague who also did it with you. I believe her name was Seychelle. and she enjoyed her class with you, so she suggested you as my lecturer before.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've sort of answered the question that I was going to ask, is whether or not you've done econ before. What part of Trinidad are you contacting us from primarily?
The South. I would be in the South campus.
No, well,
Marbella. I'm from
Marabella.
Marbella.
You're working in Marabella, or
No, I work in Gulf City.
oh, so that's where you are now.
Yeah.
You wanna market the store that you're working at in Gulf City?
It's a clothing store. It's called Highly Reactive.
Oh, I think I saw that. Well, I'm not from South, but I mean, I do.
We have a branch up mid center. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sounds interesting. I need to get some new T-shirts. So, all right, Miss Bukas, thank you very much for starting the ball rolling. Hopefully,
No
other people
problem. Take
will
care.
intimidated. All right, Anastasia Stevenson. Hi, Anastasia. Okay, I see your mic is coming on, but it doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be working. No, we're not hearing you. All right, check your settings on yeah. You're gonna have a go and come back. Get that. While we're waiting on her, can Miss Villafana, Annalisa Villafana?
Hi, sir. Morning.
Good morning.
Go
What
ahead.
program?
Doing my bachelor's in social work. So
Right.
please don't ask what year I'm in because that wouldn't apply to me. Let's just say when I started to do social work, econ was not one of the required courses. That's how long I've been here. So I'm in my final year. Let's put it like that. Let's go positive going forward. I'm in my final year. My only interaction with economics would have been me trying to do some A levels. And when I say trying to do, I mean like at least 4 classes where still got to supply equals demand, some other thing, and everything else is a blur because it was very short-lived. So I am very fearful. I want to start off with that too. I was very apprehensive when I heard econ. I was like, oh my goodness, because I did all my maths courses way back when. So I thought I got maths out of the way. So I'm hoping that it will. Well, I looked through the stuff that you posted thus far, and it doesn't seem too boring. I am serious. So I'm hoping that in addition to because I found in the past that when teachers go online and they're interactive, you're able to ask questions on the material instead of just having to work with the material alone. So far, so good.
Mhm.
I like the fact that you put stuff on for us before and you seem very approachable. So
All
we'll
right.
just stay with that. Yeah.
Let's see how that fans out. The rest of the time.
Yes, let's see.
All
Right.
And so-
I'm coming from the Santa Cruz area.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Villafano.
Welcome.
Okay. Ms. Stevenson, you're ready to go? Anastasia?
So are you hearing me now?
Right, we're hearing you now. So your microphone's working.
Okay.
All right. What program are you doing?
I'm actually doing an associate degree in psychology.
Okay. And well, I guess you had to do this as part of the requirements for the course then.
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever done economics before?
No. It's first time.
Have you ever done POB?
No. I mostly take science subjects in school.
Okay. Well, reading and understanding is going to be an important element. Welcome, Ms. Bernard. So, where are you calling us from?
Tunapuna.
Tunapuna? Okay, good. Well, welcome aboard. We'll see how it goes. All right.
Yes.
We spoke to Villafana. Avalon Gardner.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I am doing degree in psychology,
Psychology. All right. And
and
where are you in it?
I'm my second year.
Okay. And have you ever done econ before?
No, I never done econ before.
All right. So, where are you calling us from?
I live at Clarksonway.
Okay, good, good, no problem. All right, thanks a lot. I have next on my list here Celeste Wilson. Hi, Celeste. Okay, your microphone's coming on, but we're not hearing you. And I see Crystal Clark has joined us. Celeste, yes, we are. Hi, what program are you doing, Celeste?
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
I am doing associate degree
And
in
have you
social
ever
work.
done economics before?
No, I have never
All
done
right.
economics before.
So how far into your program are you?
This is actually my second semester.
Oh boy, doing this kind of fast. All right. Um, okay, so second semester, and you never did econ before. Well, what part of Trinidad are you calling us from?
Mayaro.
Mayaru. Okay. Connectivity down there is okay, or is it spotty sometimes?
It is fairly okay, but sometimes I just have problems on Google Meet, especially.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we are not required to use, well, not required, because we pay for the entire software package. We are encouraged to use Google Meet because we have unlimited access or unlimited time in the Google Meet class, whereas the like Zoom and stuff, if you don't have a license, um, you can't stay for more than half an hour, 45 minutes or something like that. You have limitations like that. So as you use it more, it should work into your system.
Okay, sir.
All right. The best performance will actually be if you log into the class with your student profile of your student email. All right. So, all right. Thank you, Celeste. Can I speak to Crystal Clark?
Morning, sir.
Hi. Good morning, Crystal. What program are you doing?
I'm doing a bachelor's in psychology.
Okay. So this is a requirement for you to complete your degree. What experience do you have with economics?
None so far.
None so far. All right. And how far into your program are you?
Third year.
Third year. Good. All right. And where from Trinidad? Where in Trinidad are you?
I'm in Diego Martin.
Diego Martin. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Clark.
Yes, sir.
Devon McNeil.
It is, sir.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. You're a bit soft.
Oh, yeah, man.
A little better. All right. You might because my voice is yeah, your speakers sound a little loud.
Better.
Right. I hope so. Yeah, sounds better. All right. So, what program are you doing?
I'm in IT networking, bachelor's degree.
All
Yeah.
right. And how far into your program are you?
I'm not sure. I can't remember what year, but I have about 10 more courses.
10 more courses, and you're doing the associate or the bachelor's?
Bachelor's.
Okay, well, yeah, you should be in your third year or so.
So, yeah.
All right. You ever did economics before?
No, the first time I'm doing it.
This is the first time.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What IT you doing? IT networking or
Yeah. Networking.
networking? All right, cool. You have any networking classes this semester?
Yeah, doing data center. Forget the next one. 322.
You have any labs on face-to-face labs?
No. Everything
No.
is using packet tracer. We're gonna be using
Okay, cool. So where are you calling us from?
Dewa Martin.
Mr. Martin? All
Yeah.
right. Okay, Mr. McNeil, thank you very much.
Alright.
Mr. Batiste or Miss Batiste? I'm not sure.
Mr. Batiste, thank you.
Mr. Batiste, how you pronounce your first name?
Iman, yeah.
Iman?
Iman.
Iman? Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Most people I know drop the E and just do Amon to make E silent.
I mean, I didn't really have much choice in my name, sadly.
I understand. It's Iman. Okay, all right, Mr. Iman Batiste.
Mm-hmm.
What program are you doing?
I am also doing a bachelor's in networking, actually, in year 3.
Okay, you're in classes with Mr. McNeil?
No, with Adrian Andrews.
No, Mr. McNeil, the student, the other guy in class.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What year are you in then?
3rd year.
3rd year? So what subjects are you doing this semester?
I'm doing advanced routing and advanced operating system platforms. And I think mobile tech.
All right. So I take it you're working then?
No, I homework though.
You're just home type parasite?
Yeah, I was working until the pandemic, so I just decided to stay home from then.
So why didn't take a few more courses then?
I feel with online I could only focus on like 4 at a time. If it had more, I'll struggle.
I understand. So have you ever dealt with economics before? What's your first time?
I did like POA and stuff, but never economics.
All right, no problem. Not a problem. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Batiste.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia Edwards.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ms. Edwards.
Well, right now I am in my 2nd semester and I am doing an associate degree in social work.
Mm-hmm.
I took economics because it's one of my required course, and also I kind of love things that challenge me a little bit. I'm usually a science girl, so stepping into more maths and figures and things will definitely, I don't know, kind of play with my brain a little bit, so I'll enjoy doing that. And I am from South Trinidad. I am from Hardbargen, to be specific.
Hardbargen, all right. Hardbargen is in what region of South?
Closer to Princestown area.
Princestown, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think you've covered everything there. So sounds like you were listening.
Yes.
All right. Gabriela Martin.
Hi, good morning.
Gabriela, you need to speak
Hi,
up.
morning.
Right, that's better. Good morning. What program are you doing?
My program is my associate degree in Spanish. I'm in my last semester.
Mm-hmm.
And ECON is not part of my program, but because I was advised to take it because I needed credits, and there's no more. I did all my majors already. And well, until there was one more to do, but it's not running, so I was advised to take the ECON.
So what was the option that you really wanted to do?
There's no other option because I did history of Trinidad and Tobago last semester. That was the other option, and they're still not offering the other course, which is doing business in Latin America.
Oh, okay, right.
So I had
Well,
to do the econ.
this should work with you in terms of your Latin American studies and business. So hopefully it should be productive for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll hope. So you've never done economics before then?
I did POB for CXC, and I tried to do econ for Cape, and then I dropped out.
Okay.
Yes.
All
I'm
right.
from Woodbrook.
Woodbrook, okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Janelle O'Brien. Hope I'm saying that right.
Good morning, sir.
Is it Janelle or Janella?
Janelle.
Janelle O'Brien, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm doing my bachelor's in social work, and I've now entered my final year for social work. I have 7 more courses to finish. Wow. I signed up to do econ during the 2020. That's when the pandemic now started, but I was doing it in South. So the class had to be transitioned. So I withdrew from the class due to the whole pandemic of shifting the in-class to online. But I was already in full gear for that semester. And by the time online streaming for in-class took place, I just didn't bother to sign up for the classes because I think it would have been too hectic to go into one semester and follow straight and do 3 months again. So that would have been like 6 months of schooling. So I just
That was like the semester that never ended.
Yeah, that was the semester that never ended. So I just withdrew and I'm back on. So I did the kind of introductory into econ.
First couple of units.
First couple of units, and that's about it.
All right. Well, the content really hasn't changed much. It's just that the methodology of teaching had to change and adapt. And I'm hoping that you would find it useful and manageable. All right?
I should.
Okay, Mr. Bryan. All right. Karan Maharaj?
It is, sir.
Hi.
I'm doing my bachelor's in IT.
Okay, you need to either get closer to your microphone or kind of hang up your volume there a bit.
Okay, I said I'm doing my bachelor's in IT programming.
Right.
And this is my 3rd year in Custard, and I've not had any experience with economics before this.
Okay. Where are you calling us from?
Pinal.
Pinal? All right. Mr. Bryan, where were you calling us from?
San Juan.
San Juan, okay. All right, Karen, what program are you doing again, Karen? I forgot.
IT. Programming.
What IT?
Programming. Internet technologies.
Internet technologies. All right, cool. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kevion John.
Hi, sir.
It's Kevion, right?
Kevion. Sir, I'm sorry, my neighbors play music and I'm loud. If you hear it in the background.
Well, we're not actually hearing you very well, so you're still kind of far away.
Really close to the laptop because unless I try to join on my phone.
No, well, we're hearing you a little better now.
Okay, I am in my 4th year and my bachelor's. I'm doing my bachelor's in journalism.
Journalism?
Yeah, journalism. I chose this course because I thought it would pair well with entrepreneurship, and that's one of the courses I'm doing this semester. And also, I did POB for January exams while I was doing CXC. As close as I got to everything business-wise.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to
sorry, say that last thing again.
Oh, I said I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you're looking. All right. What part of Trinidad are you from?
China.
Okay. Are you currently working with any in any journalist field, or you just
Right now.
okay? Just for edification, guys, you can join with more than one device. Huh? You don't have to struggle with just one. So Ms. John, you can actually hook on with your phone and have your laptop simultaneously. So it might help you with your audio for your microphones. Okay?
Okay, I'll join with my phone.
All right, cool. And you could stay on the laptop so you could see the presentations and stuff better. All right, Kimberly Bernard.
Good morning, sir. It's actually Kimberly DDA. Just IT hasn't
Yeah.
gotten around to fixing that.
I have you on my class list as DDA.
Yes.
How come you ended up with Bernard?
Because my name before was Bernard, but I got married, and despite submitting everything to Costat and sending numerous emails, they just didn't change it. So
Okay, I was a little concerned because I was having some problems reconciling the name. But if your name on the class list is
it's DDA.
yeah, all right, but it has to go to Bernard.
No,
It has to be DDA.
It is DDA. Yes, DDA is
Well,
the
then,
right name.
well, DDA is what's on the system now, but it's just
Yeah.
for IT to update.
Yes.
I'm easy to go in there. All right, well, at least we know who you are now, and you're not just
Yes.
somebody infiltrating our class. All right, so what program are you doing?
Right. So I am doing the associates in social work. I'm in my final year. I had no choice but to pick this class because it's part of the the degree. I am from Sangre Grande.
All right,
I think that's about it.
that's about it. All right, good. Are you working or you're home?
Yes, I'm home at the moment on maternity leave, but I am a prison officer.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's complete. Thank you very much. Lashona, is it Lashona or Lashon?
Good day. It's LaShawn Nelson.
Nelson, okay.
Yeah. I am from Franciscan. I am pursuing my bachelor's in mass communication, and I have never done economics, but where I work, I believe that I would have an understanding of what you're teaching due to, state what's going on.
Where do you work?
I am a cashier at a grocery in Franciscan.
Okay, all right. Yeah, they're dealing with demand and supply stuff there all the time. All right, thank you very much, Ms. Nelson.
No problem.
All right, Torres. I guess it's Leandro.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Good morning to the rest of the class. I am Stacia Torres, actually. I am doing Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminal Justice. I am in my second to last year of second to last semester. One more semester to go. I've never done econ before, but I have an interest in it. I did PhD at CHC level, and looking at some of the course content, I think it probably is a bit similar to PhD, so I know I'll be okay. But I've never done econ before. So
All right. There is some overlap. That should help.
Huh?
I said there's a big overlap, so that should help.
Yeah.
All right, Leandro. Okay. Megan Berjou.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Am I saying that surname correctly?
No, sir. It's actually Bijou.
Bijou. Okay. All right. So, what program are you doing?
I am currently pursuing an associate's degree in social work, and this is my first year.
First year.
Yeah, semester 3.
Semester 2, first year. Kind of early, but all right. I guess you want to get it out of the way. You did the first year course last semester?
Yes, sir.
First year experience?
Yes, sir.
Did you do libs?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and RIT 117?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have most of the tools we need. So where are you calling us from?
I am from St. James.
All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Megan. Natasha Brown. Well, I want to say peruse, but you will correct me.
Correct, sir. Natasha Brown Peruse.
Peruse. Okay. All right. So what program are you doing?
I am currently doing my associate. Well, I actually registered for the bachelor's, but advised by my advisor to go through the associate first, and then I'll
Yeah.
move on to the bachelor's.
Hopefully you'll get dual certification across the board.
Mhm. So
So
I have to go on us. This is my second, I believe this is my second year into the associate. I yes, so in the compulsory, in not the compulsory, but in this these core curriculum courses, I only had two more left, which was history and econ. So I was advised, well, math 116. So I decided to leave math till next year by itself. So
I would have given your math more priority. Have you done statistics yet?
negatives. No, sir. That's not reference how I'm not doing the how they advise me to go on to the to do the associates. They said when I'm moving on to doing the bachelor's, then I'll be doing entrepreneurship and statistics.
All right, but you need to get your math in place, huh? Because statistics requires that you have that math done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where are you calling us from?
To go on, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Ravi Gulcharan.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Did I pronounce that surname correctly?
Yes, sir.
All right, so
I am doing my associates in social work. This is my second year. Econ was not in my academic advisement guide, but my advisor said that I have to do it. And I'm calling from Beach.
all right. Okay. Are you working or you home?
Yes, sir. Working and studying.
Okay. Where do you work?
I work at the Beach Secondary School.
Are you a teacher there?
Not a teacher, but assistant teacher.
Okay. That's interesting. That's good because they'll leave you in charge of things sometimes, right?
Yes.
You are in the business of molding minds, so one of the most dangerous things you can do with your life.
And
Okay.
I did econ before.
You did?
Yes.
At what level?
I got a grade 2.
At
CXE.
CXE? All right.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. So you're gonna have some repetition. All right, Ravi Hussein.
Hi, good day, sir.
Hi, Ravi.
I'm currently doing my associate degree in environment management. To be honest, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm in. I have like 5 or 6 more. Enough.
All right. So you're nearly finished.
I would. Yeah. I work as operations assistant in environment lab, put up environment from Shoguna's area.
All right. Your signal's kind of breaking up a lot. We heard some bits and pieces of what you said, so I think we got the gist of it. All right.
Yeah, as I said before, electricity went here and the service data is pretty bad.
All right, it'll have to correct itself and stuff. All right, thanks a lot, Ravi. Yeah. Okay, what about Robin Bash?
Good day, sir.
I
am currently doing an associate degree in social work. This is my final year. I'm calling from the Aruka area. I never did econ before, however, I did POB and CXE.
All right, good. Good. All right, thank you very much, Robin. Rosanna Bigford. Hi, Rosanna. Hi, Miss Bigfoot?
Are you hearing me?
We're hearing you now.
Right. Pleasant morning, sir, and pleasant morning to the class. My name is Rosanna Bigford, and I'm doing my bachelor in psychology. I'm almost the third year.
All right.
I live at Labray.
All right.
And economics. I have to do economics because it is necessary for my bachelor's degree. I did economics already. I did it at A level, where I got a pass, not a very high pass in, but I got a pass in it anyhow at A levels. So I have a pretty all right idea of what economics is all about.
So that means you can assist other students with problems that they may have.
Well, once it comes back, I will try my best. Yeah, but other than that, economics is a nice subject because what I do, I relate it to present time and things that I use it practical in my life. So I think it should be an enjoyable subject for me again. Yeah.
Good. All right. Good. Selena Ali.
Good day, everyone. I'm doing my bachelor's in applied psychology. I'm in my fourth year, and I haven't done economics ever.
All right. So where you
And
from?
I'm from Arima. Arima.
Are you in a work environment right now?
No, I'm home.
Okay, because I heard a lot of noise behind you.
Yeah, that's my family.
Yeah, they watching TV and thing. Yeah.
No, they're just talking really loud.
Talking loud. No respect, you know.
Yeah.
No respect. Sally, no worries.
Yeah.
Sarah. Oh boy. Pilau?
Peloy, good morning.
Peloy? Sorry, Peloy. Okay.
I am doing my bachelor's in psychology. I am in my 5th year. I have done econ before at A levels, but didn't really finish. But it is it is a good subject. I am calling from the Las Cuevas area.
Las Cuevas. All right, good. All right, so some people with some experience. I believe, right, last person, Shirley Lipao, is at work. Can you join us or would it be too difficult? Miss Lipao? Okay, she's at work and she's trying to listen into the thing. So anybody knows Miss Lipao? And Selena has left.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi, you're hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Okay, I am actually doing a bachelor's in psychology. This is my 3rd year because I missed 1 year. I've never done economics before. I did POB at CXC level.
Okay.
And I am actually calling from Port of Spain on the Eastern Main Road.
Right. That's where you're working right now, right?
Yes, sir.
But where do you live, though?
I live in Diego Martin.
All right, okay. That's more more along the lines of what I'm thinking of. But thanks a lot for joining us. How's the day going in the shop?
Oh, so well, it's pretty quiet because I am actually a paint technician. So on Saturdays is normally a pretty quiet day for us. I wish I didn't have to work on a Saturday, but
What technician are you?
Paint. I mix automotive paint.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so you're okay with starting classes at 1 o'clock instead of 11?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. I might get you a chance to finish and get home.
Yes.
All right. So, guys, that was one decision that was made. So, for people who may have just come in, from the next meeting, because we're not necessarily going to be meeting every week, the classes are going to be called to start from 1 o'clock, and I'll send the meeting links with a 1 o'clock start instead of an 11 o'clock. Because as we spoke about, Saturdays tend to be a little challenging for most households because of the nature of it's the first day of the weekend kind of thing. So things kind of get caught up with you all in relation to that. Additionally, I posted again into the chat a link to the WhatsApp chat group that I'm trying to create for the class so that we could communicate a little more, a little quicker, because it'll make sense that we have an alternative method besides email and stuff like that to contact each other. All right, I see now we have.
Yes, sir.
20 participants, so we're still missing a few more people from class, but the people who just arrived, the link is back in the chat, so if you were here earlier, it would not have been here. So please see if you can still join the class. Somebody was having some problems before. Were you able to get through? I think it was Mr. Mirage or Mr. Can't remember. Okay. Whoever it is will tell me eventually. All right, guys. So everybody has gone to the e-classroom so far. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you've started poking around.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me start to present my screen. So this should look familiar. You all are seeing this?
Yeah, we're seeing it just fine.
Right. Good. All right. So let's, well, in the document or on the page, there's a course outline that I loaded here for you guys to download. So we're going to go through that today, so that we can look at the requirements of the course and make sure everybody is on the same page when it comes to the course. All right. So all of you all downloaded this by chance? So it should look something like this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here you would realize that my phone contact is also here for WhatsApp and whatnot. So you guys can communicate with me via WhatsApp. You could call me if you're having urgent issues. You also have 2 email addresses here that are COSTAT related. And there's one reserved for emergencies, which is my private email. I think I sent out some emails today and I inadvertently used my Gmail, my personal account. You all got that message. And then I resent it from the my.costat. You saw that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you
Yes,
said this
sir.
morning, right?
Yeah, this morning I sent it just to be on the safe side because I know I was sending stuff before, but there were some issues with my email, and there I realized what I was sending wasn't going anywhere. So I had to get that sorted out by IT, and I had to end up calling them to get that because nobody was responding to my emails. Sounds familiar, right? All right, so we have here the schedule, and today's class is our first online session. We're not going to do any content today. We're just going to be looking at getting to know each other and getting an introduction into the whole course itself and what it's all about and how we're going to be doing our assessments and what the expectations are for everybody in the class. Unit 1, you all can get to Unit 1 and move at a pace. Now, what I did this time is, in the past, the courses were generally I'd have the classes or the units open up one at a time kind of thing as we move through the system. But I found that some people move faster, some people move slower, and I decided let me just open everything. For those who can move through quicker, which would be the people who have previous experience. But it really doesn't matter if you've had previous experience or not. You still have to go through the content and then perform the quizzes and do the assignments and so on as we're moving through. So I decided to leave everything open, and all of the quizzes are set. All of the quizzes are open, and they are set to close on January 30th. And you have, just to start in terms of assessment, you have at least 2 attempts at each quiz. Some quizzes you have more attempts than others, and the rule is that I will take your highest score for each one. In terms of the quizzes themselves, there are 7, I believe. I know I'm scrolling a bit fast, but I'm just going to go through to the section on quizzes just as we started discussions on that already, or I've started discussions on that. Right. So there's 7 units, so there's a quiz for each one, and what I'm basically doing is that I'm going to take the best scores for each of your attempts, and it'll count towards 30% of your final grade collectively. Each class or each quiz is already open and closes on the 30th of January next semester or next year. And for those of you who might be unfamiliar, we do have a semester break for Christmas. Classes end on the 25th of December and reopen on the 2nd of January. I'm going to try to be minimal with trying to insist on you all doing some work during that period, because I know that's a family-oriented time. So, but there are some due dates after in the new year as we go through the system and we look at it. All right, so this is one main piece of assessment that you all will have to be dealing with, and the guideline really is go through the material for the unit, then attempt the quiz. If you don't like the score that you got, then just review the material and then try the quiz again. If something goes wrong while you're logging into the quiz and that kind of stuff, you need to let me know so that I can give you an additional opportunity in case something goes wrong. But don't panic. Again, this course is not meant to be one that is supposed to stress you out. It's one that's fairly straightforward and is designed for you guys to get more or less a basic idea of what this whole concept of economics is all about. Because in essence, this course is designed for non-business students. So the application of this is more for your personal use and for your own personal development. So going back over here, so these are the schedules that we're looking at of when. So I expect that maybe we have this one class today, and then I don't expect it to be online again with you all until the 13th of November. Now that's a big spread. So in between this date to this date, if you would like to have a session, so what I will do is I'll message you all on WhatsApp and say, okay, guys, we have a Saturday coming up. Anybody wants to have a session to go through any of the material from the class, let me know and I'll call a session, and I'll record the session again so that for people who may not have been able to attend the session, they can actually look at the recording and understand what it is. This is especially if you want to go through material with me. I've kind of cherry picked some topics that I figure that, like demand and supply, I think I would probably want to do a session with you with that, because that is by far the most important topic in economics is demand and supply, because everything in economics revolves around understanding demand and supply. Once you understand that, you really kind of get the gist of what the entire thing is all about. And as you move through the course, hopefully you'll be able to see that. Of course, then we have the different units, and as I said, I suggested some meeting times, and we can check and see what's going on. So like in January, I might want to meet with you all the first week rather than the second week of January, just to kind of catch up with you guys, see how you're all going, making sure that the holidays didn't do you in kind of thing and that kind of stuff. All right. Now, in terms of assignments, we have an individual research assignment. Besides the 7 quizzes that you see here, we have an individual research assignment that's worth 20%. We'll go through the details. And it's due on the 21st of November, midnight. You have a second assignment. Assignment 2 is called an article journal. We'll go through the details of that. And that has a deadline of the 2nd of January, midnight. Then we have a group project, which is divided into 2 elements, a group presentation, which is valued at 10%, and that presentation will take place on the 29th of January. That's the last teaching week of the class. And then your submission deadline for the documents for your group research project which comes to 20%, will be the 13th of February. And I have to submit grades by the 20th. So the 13th of February is a bit late for me, because it only gives me about 7 days to be able to grade everything and then put your grades on the system. Okay, you're all familiar with that, because we need grades to roll and whatnot for that. So let's get into some details of the assignments. But before, we have some course policies here. So you're going to be submitting your projects, all the group projects, journals, the assignments. You're going to be producing or submitting that through the e-classroom. There are 2 portals for submission, one for checking your citation, and the other is to submit your final drafts, both for individual and for the groups. All right. When you are naming your files, I've asked you people to create a naming profile. Or protocol, I should say, file naming protocol. So it starts with your name, the code of the course, the date of the course, so ours will be Saturday, and the name of the assignment. So the assignment 1, and if it's the first time you're submitting, it will be version 1. The reason why I'd like to get your name on it is so that I can differentiate it from all the other assignments. So everybody's assignment will be personalized in terms of the name of it. So when you're saving your document, you save it with this and create a name that has this type of information on it. That sounds doable, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yes.
All right. Because a lot of people submit files online and the name of the file is ECON assignment. And if everybody submits a file called ECON assignment, and if for some reason I don't download it correctly, then it can end up in any and everybody's folder. Okay. Now, so although you're submitting everything online, the format of the document still needs to meet academic requirements. Most of you all should be familiar with this already, that it has to have a title page. Beyond 4 pages long, it needs to have contents pages. There's a margin, double space, standardized setup for your text, 1-inch margins. You're familiar with this, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Additionally, all your assignments, submission assignments, would require citation, and I am recommending APA. Now, most people are familiar with APA.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
APA. All right. Anybody uses anything else?
Yes,
I
sir.
use
MLA.
Well, so whatever your what does your department ask you to use?
MLA.
Which department is this? Psychology?
That's known as a Spanish, associate degree for Spanish.
All right. So, well, then you use
Humanities.
the MLA. All right. Because I'm familiar with
So on social work, they ask us to use the APA.
Right. What I'm saying is, the girl from Spanish, Latin American Studies, they use MLA. That I can understand. That's the Modern Language Association. So whatever system of citation that they've asked you to use for your main set of courses, stick with that system. If you've been accustomed to using APA, then use APA, and that's what your department requires. But the Department of Foreign Languages asks for MLA, which makes sense to me. So I know in the School of Business and IT, we ask for APA as well, right, guys? The guys who do in IT?
Yeah.
All right. So you all understand what you need to do for that. There is a link in this document that will take you to the All Purdue lab that will help you if you need to remember certain things and see what the latest updates are. Okay, so the main thing with it is that you also have on your e-classroom a place where you're submitting it for similarity ratings. Now, your assignments should not exceed 15%. However, when people make submissions, there's a tendency for it to tag your contents page and the questions themselves as similar, and that will be true because the assignment will be similar to assignments we may have used in the past. So we can ignore things like title page, bibliographies, and content pages, and even sometimes the questions themselves will come up inside if you use that as a method of separating your questions from each other. That comes up as well. So once you do that, you'll be able to work out what that kind of means across the board. So the idea here now is that we don't want similarities beyond 15%, but of course there's a caveat for that based upon what is coming up. So this is the area here where you would be submitting for comparison, and what it's supposed to do is when you submit it, each person can submit multiple times, or supposed to be able to submit multiple times, and all before the due date. All right, so you see the due date is set for the 28th of November. I've actually given you all kind of like a week's grace in advance to continue submitting, but there should also be no block after the due date is passed as well. I've allowed for submissions beyond the due date. And you get your reports back and give you your similarity rating. And as I said, when you look at the document and we could see what exactly is similar, I will be able to view it from my end as well, which should give me an idea of how you're proceeding with the work, if you're understanding the material and that type of stuff. Any questions on that so far?
No, sir.
No? Okay. All right. The same thing will hold for the article, journal, and the group project. So let's go back to the other document here. So we just spoke about citation and referencing. I am talking about the APA. As I said, the exception would be if your department uses MLA or the Chicago method, then you use what your department is using. I will do the adjustments in the marking scheme by looking at that. And here we're talking about the submission points for the e-classroom and this 15% similarity rating. Try to make sure that your similarity rating does not exceed 15%. All right, and then we will work for that. Attendance and participation, well, we're looking for about 75 attendance ratio, but 75%. But that'll be for the online classes, for that the live classes that we have. But of course, if you have to work when we have a class, then I can't make you come to a class. So that's why we're going to record the sessions that we have, and then I will post the recordings onto the e-classroom so that you can go to them if you've missed a class to kind of catch up. The downside of that is that you can't really participate in the class and ask questions for clarification. That'll be the downside of it. But again, you can still look at the presentation and then call me or message me with questions that you might have to be able to get some further clarification outside of that classroom stuff. Any questions about this so far?
No, sir.
All right, everything's good. All right. Well, during sessions, the expectation is that we mute our microphones. Your video feed is strictly by choice. If you want to turn on your video, fine. You'll notice I have my video on, at least right today. May not be on every class, depending upon what's going on with because sometimes having video and audio running kind of, if the bandwidth is struggling, it will cause problems with buffering and audio, so that sometimes you might find I'll turn off my video to make sure that we could focus our attention on the content and make sure there's no breaking up. So, but again, your use of your video is strictly up to you, because I don't know what your circumstances are, and therefore I don't know how comfortable you feel with projecting what's in your situation. All right, so we'll see how that works out based upon that. So we kind of spoke about makeups and rewrites. They're kind of negotiable once there's enough time for us to do that. Makeup exams, well, the exams are open for the entire, the quizzes are open for the entire semester. It's up to you to use the options, the number of attempts. So they will remain open. They're open already from the 11th of October, and they should close by the 30th of January. I hope you would have gone through all your quizzes well before the 30th of January. You shouldn't be skating on the end of the year or the beginning of January to be trying to finish your quizzes. All right. Readings, there's a list of readings there related to the chapters. So to help understand the content, there's readings from the textbooks that you download from the classroom itself. So you'd notice at the top here, there are a couple textbooks that we have, 3 textbooks that you should download for use. And of course, you can have the submissions, and the readings related to them are defined, not on the page, but they should be in the course schedule in terms of what we're looking at. If not, I'll have to update this to give you that information. All right. Generally, when we come to sessions, if you've gone through the material before, then it'll make the session more useful for you, because you could point me to where exactly you'd want the explanations and clarifications to be made. So we don't just go all over the place or spend the class doing the whole thing all over and over again. All right. So having gone through the material before we meet should be a useful thing. All right. So we come to the assessments. Individual assignments. At any point in time, if you want to ask a question, feel free to just chime in. Okay, just turn on your mic and ask. Okay, so all of this here is just sort of background information for your assignment, and these are the questions here with the use. So you'll see there's question 1, question 2. All right, so there are 2 questions that we're looking at you tackling, but there's 2 questions with 3 to 4 pieces each, which is marked out as 60%. So what's going to happen is that these are what we call self-directed topics, so that the questions themselves will not be dealt with directly in the classroom. So you would have to kind of start your research and readings on it to be able to answer the questions. So we have questions here about taxes and subsidies, ceilings and floors, binding versus non-binding, and other government mechanisms for intervention into market systems. Then we have the second question is going to be taken from the area of costs and firms. So here we're asking about long-run average cost curves and economies of scale and price discrimination as practiced by monopolies. And we have a couple of other areas here related to oligopolistic competition. And then we have a question here on economic growth and development, which is related to the second unit that you're going to be looking at as well. So content is kind of scattered throughout the course, but generally this area here comes from theory of the firm. This area here comes from consumer behavior and demand and supply. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. So there's a marking system or rubric here that hopefully you guys can utilize to understand what you're doing. So the course is going to be marked like that. So 60% for the content, 10% for layout, 15% for use of language, 15% for citations. So overall, that's how your marks are going to be allocated. So once you've competently answered the questions, the content. And generally what I find, students don't really have problems with the content. What they do tend to suffer from a little bit is, laying out, and these areas here tend to be the challenge, especially citation, appropriate citation. That tends to be the one that, for some reason, still gives people a lot of challenges. Now, generally, when I have so many sociology and psychology students, you guys have to do a lot of research-based assignments. So you all seem to be strong in that area. Would you agree with that? Psych and social work people?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Yes,
because you all do a lot more research material, you all are very comfortable, or should be relatively comfortable, with citation. I also found that the journalist people are also quite good with this, as well as the Spanish, Spanish for business people as well. IT tends to be a little bit of a challenge because I don't think you all have a consistent requirement to do citation. Is that the case?
Yeah, we don't really have a consistent. I only had one class so far that really needed citations.
Right. So that, as I said before, I did put into the course information, course policies above, a link to get some assistance with that. Or you could always hook up with another student who might be able to give you some heads up on what you're doing. Most people use of language is okay because they know how to use spell check and grammar check, right? The other area that sometimes people lose out on is terms of organization and layout. So what do we mean by organization and layout? It's how you lay out and organize your paper. As I said before, once a paper begins to exceed 4 pages, you have to include, and you must put a title page on your document. Once it starts to exceed 4 pages, which these assignments will, there should be a table of contents, which means to have a table of contents, you have to have page numbers. And then you should be separating your questions away from each other so that we can read them clearly. And if you follow the directions, everything has to be double spaced so that I can read them easily. Okay, so you might want to deal with question 1, part A, part B, part C. And then you kind of make sure that if a question ends at the end of one page and just have a little paragraph area left below, you don't start the second part of the question there, but you go to a new page and start it. So it's the way you lay it out so that and that then relates to your table of contents, because your table of contents has to reinforce that. And then of course you have your reference page that goes down to the end, and any sort of diagrams that you utilize, because you can use diagrams. In fact, you have to use diagrams here. You'd see the second question with the use of diagrams, differentiate between binding and non-binding price ceilings and floors. You'd have to make sure that you cite your diagrams, and those things can occupy some space that push the questions around. So really the layout and organization of your work is something that you have to pay attention to. So as I said, most times the content is not the issue, but just the way in which you present your material and the citation. Use of language generally is not a problem, but the issue of spelling, you of course you have the whole issue of US versus UK spelling. My advice to you is whatever you are using, use it consistently. So you can't have organization with an S. Is it organization with an S or Z?
With a Z, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the one with the where it's either Z or S. You have to be consistent in your usage. It can't be one way in one question and another way in another question. That's what I mean. Or color is another one. COLOR versus COLOUR. So if you're using that word color, then it should be consistently one way all the way through. Okay, that makes sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Now, to assist you with that individual assignment, this online discussion forum is set up to help you all with it. This is not for marks, but it is designed for you guys to take a few of the questions and post, do a response to it, which is citation and done up and whatnot, and post it into a discussion forum for people to look at your response and then comment on it. So the idea is that you will answer the questions, post your response, then read other people's responses, and then make a comment on how you feel about it, and whether or not well, you do a critique on it, basically. What's right, what's wrong, what is good, what is bad, that kind of stuff. But of course, you're doing that in a tasteful manner. You're doing constructive criticism then. So the three questions that we looked at were these three coming out of the assignment. With the use of diagrams, differentiate between a binding and non-binding ceiling. So it holds the same score from before, but what we're looking at here is you doing this response, posting it. Then the second one that we usually give students problems, explain the long run average cost curve, how it depicts the concept of economies of scale, and explaining these terms: non-price, competition, collusion, competitive oligopolies, and price leadership. So in preparation for completing that individual assignment, the online forum discussion is set up. Now, we thought about letting this count for some marks, but then we said, let's try it first before and not put marks on it. So basically what this would do is give you a chance to try and test out your understanding of the assignment before. So whatever you end up producing for the online forum discussion, you can end up using in your final draft of your thingamajig now, your individual assignment. That makes sense, guys? So there's a portal question.
No, sir, I was just agreeing.
Right. So there's a portal here for the assignment for you to upload your responses. Most of you all have used online discussions before, forums. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So you'll understand how this works, and its function in this case is to basically try and give you a little attempt of getting some feedback faster for the individual assignment. Now, of course, I'm going to be making comments on everybody's input into the chat, into the forum discussion. But I'd like to see how other people feel about it, especially now that we know that we have quite a number of folks in the class who have done economics before, and therefore they should have a more informed opinion about things, as opposed to just a rum shop opinion, if you understand what I mean by that. Okay, so far so good. All right, so again, the forum is open already, so you can go ahead and try this and see what happens when you're posting, and see how people respond to your questions. My idea would be, do this all in one file and do an upload, and people could then have a look at it. And then people can make their comments to it as well. All right. So the next major assignment is a journal assignment. And this journal is going to be based upon articles. So you have to do some work here, finding an article in the newspaper that is not more than 6 months old that I have to approve for you. So you have to find the articles, get me to approve it. But the article should have content in it that relates to some, if not all of, a few of the concepts in the class, some of the theories in the class. This is where we're going to be making the connection between the theory in the text, or the theory in the course, to the real world. Sort of like what Miss Bigford was talking about, relating the economics to the real world. So that you should be looking at an article. And recently we had a budget speech, and that should generate a fair amount of discussion online and on on newspapers and stuff like that with people's opinions and analysis of the impact. So that should give you all food for some interesting stuff to be able to utilize as stimulus for this. So although it is a journal article, it still requires the same treatment with citation and so on. And the questions that are given, there are a couple of questions here, about 7 questions that you're going to be looking at to answer. So what is the article about? This is basically a summary of the article. You're not just posting. I would recommend that you put the article into your document, but you need to summarize the article, identify at least 2 economic concepts being discussed in that article. And of course, because once you identify it, you of course have to define them and explain them, and link them to how they are being addressed in the thing and the examples that they're using. So you're following the question there. Then we're looking at, okay, can you look at one positive and one negative impact of the concepts or the ideas or whatever the issue is that I'm talking about there? Describe 2 positive and 2 negative impacts. So this is kind of one thing that is going to kind of expand a little bit. So it's the same thing that you're looking at, but here is looking at how does it impact upon the individual, and then how does it impact upon a household, seeing, and then how does it impact upon the country as a whole, positive or negative. All right, well, it's actually one of each across the board. Question. Like again, some people want to ask a question. Ms. Bigfoot? Rosanna? Oh.
No, sir.
Oh, you just opened.
Yes, sorry. I'd opened it to say something before.
What was it you wanted to say? You go ahead and say it. All right, then do you think that government... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you could take it out from the take out any one of the articles from the economic section in the papers. There's a section there where sometimes they
the
do
business section.
The business section.
Yeah. You can take articles from any. Not the articles could be local, they could be regional, or they could be international.
Okay.
The main thing is that they can't be more than 6 months old.
Okay, sure.
Because anything past that and it will no longer be relevant.
Sure.
Because economic circumstances change so quickly
over time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that I always tell students is, your area of study gives you a point of focus. So, for example, the guys in IT, for example, can who might be interested in certain aspects of the IT market internationally, can start to maybe look at journals that they're already looking at, but start to look at it from the point of view of whether or not this particular thing that's happening in that part of the world is likely to have an economic impact. So, for example, the whole situation going on with Facebook and WhatsApp and the US issues with privacy concerns and stuff like that, and their unwillingness to control or to limit what's going on there. That those kind of things that might be happening in the United States has direct implications to what's happening here in Trinidad and Tobago, and that can mean a lot of things, or you can utilize those things to have a discussion. Because one of the things we have to realize about Trinidad and Tobago in particular is that we're a small open economy. Open meaning that we are open to the vagaries of what happens in the international market, impacting directly upon us with very limited ability to respond to it. So that's something that you could probably look at. Similarly, in the area of sociology, psychology, and so on, you all might have areas of concern and interest that you can find articles and see if they have some sort of economic impact. I remember one one year a student looked at crime in Trinidad and Tobago because it fell into the area of criminal justice, and they were able to link it to the economics by by making a number of connections between demand and supply issues, which is two separate concepts, demand and supply, and what happens in the households in Trinidad and Tobago in terms of individuals. So, I mean, they made some really nice linkages between the level of criminal activity, the level and type of criminal activity, and the behavior of people in Trinidad and Tobago to negate it. So it's quite a well done research article backed up with other cited sources of information that provided credibility to the work that they was doing. It was quite a good piece of work that was submitted at that point in time. So it's just to give you an idea. It doesn't only have to be stuff coming out of the business section, but you can go that choice as well. So you can use the standard business statements or business related articles to stimulate your response here. Again, the idea is that I have to guide you, so you need to make sure that I look at your article first. Now, everybody doesn't have to do what's the word I want to use? Everybody doesn't have to find an individual article. We could share articles among each other, if you understand what I mean. So more than one person can write their journal up in relation to it. So you can all use this. You could all use one article, or different parts of the class could use the same article. Kind of. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that articles are open to everybody to write about. All right. So there's no limitations on the number of people who can write about one particular article that might be of interest to everybody. Again, there's a rubric here to give you an idea of how the marks are going to be allocated. Overall, we're looking again at 60% for content, 15% for your layout, 10% for your language usage, and 15% for your citation. And again, in this case here, citation similarity ratio should not exceed 15%, so that if for example you copied and paste the article itself into your document, we know we can discount that because you're just putting it there as a source of information. Another way, if you use online articles as opposed to articles that you might scan from a paper, then you could put the link to the article into your paper rather than the article itself. That makes sense? Yes, because you could look at online journals and like that as well. Okay. All right. So that's this assignment. So that's 2. Then of course we have some more rubrics here to give you a little more details of how the marks are going to be allocated. We spoke about the quizzes already, and as I said before, there's 7 quizzes. I'm taking each quiz will have at least 2 attempts, so I'm going to take the highest score from your attempts. Some quizzes actually have up to 3 or 4, depending upon how difficult I felt it was. I've given a number of chances to students to try and get it done. The idea is for you to be able to get the best possible score. Now the way it works, it's 10 multiple choice questions, and you have 20 minutes to do each quiz. However, when you do it once and then you come back and do it, the questions are going to shuffle, and it's going to shuffle from a question bank that has about 20 to 25 questions. So you may not necessarily get the same 10 questions that you had before, but what the questions are set on will be the same. It will be set up on the same content. So you might get a similar question being asked about a similar content, but it will be the same question you had before. That makes sense? You will get some of the same questions coming up. It's just that you will get some options coming up where they're slightly different. So you're not going to get the same questions coming back up a second time around. That makes sense? You all should be familiar with that already. I figure a lot of your lecturers use that quizzing technique with you all already. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that brings us now to the group assignment. So what the group assignment basically is this. We're going to set you guys up into small groups of, in your case, 5 to 6 people. Each group will choose a country that they would like to do some analysis on, and then begin to do some research about that country and pull it together in the form of a research paper. Again, all other stated protocols hold in terms of how it's to be organized, but this one I expect that I would find you guys using probably pictures and images. You may need to also use tables and charts and stuff like that in it. So you're going to have a little more graphics to be dealing with inside here. I wouldn't recommend that you put links in it for videos and stuff like that, but that could come up in something else. Now, the group assignment is overall is 30%, but it's split into the project. The written project is going to carry 20 marks, and the presentation is going to be 10 marks. So basically, you're going to do all this research, following the protocols and the instructions here that are the same across the board. And you're going to submit those. You're going to be working on a final project, but you're going to extract from that final project a 20 to 25 minute presentation that is going to give us the gist of your findings in a presentation online. So basically, the way I'm presenting now, you'll have the opportunity to come up and load, well, in your case, it'll be loading some sort of PowerPoint display, and every member of the group will then take part in explaining their various questions that they're going to be doing. So you're conducting an economic analysis of the country. So the analysis will include responding to the following questions. What type of economic system does the country have? Explaining two benefits and 2 drawbacks or problems of that system. Now, this can't be generic problems and benefits. It has to be specific to the country that you've chosen to evaluate. What is the dominant type of market structures that exist in that country or that economy, providing 2 examples. So again, that's specific to that country. What is the dominant type of firms that exist in the country? And again, it's specific to that. Describe 3 functions of government in the economy and provide examples. So again, it's specific. Whereas the textbook gives you generally some things that each of these things go on, you would need to be looking at specifically what's happening in your country of thing. Then you're going to have to collect some data. Collect 5 years of data on inflation, unemployment, and national income for the country and analyze the data with respect to its 5-year trend. So we've provided a World Bank website here that you could look at. There are other websites that you could look at as well. So that's data collection on inflation, unemployment, and national income. Then you have question 6, data collection on imports and exports. And you have to analyze that data with respect to the trends that are going on there, and you need to be able to determine whether or not they're experiencing surpluses or deficits. So you have some application there to do. Then you have to look at trade restrictions, whether or not what type of trade restrictions exist for that country. So generally, the trade restrictions fall into the areas of tariffs, quotas, embargoes, import duties, and voluntary export restrictions. And then you also have non-tariff restrictions as well, or non-tariff regulations. So those are the types. But what we're asking is, what are 4 types that country uses that exist in that country? Specific. Then you have to look at the type of exchange rate system that exists in that country, and the different types that are available: fixed, floating, managed, float, or pegged. So you'd have to identify specifically what type of exchange rate system works in that country, and then you'd have to look at what is the what impact that it has on its imports and exports. All right, so exchange rate policies tend to have, or systems I should say, tend to impact upon the way in which imports and exports work in that country. And then of course we want to look at globalization, which is one of the latter areas of the course. discuss two positives and two negative impacts of globalization on the country being discussed or being researched or analyzed. Now, together with that, you all have to do an introduction and a conclusion to the assignment. And in the introduction, you have to include an overview of the country being discussed. So when you say an overview, you should be looking at major demographics of the country, such as it has here, size, location, culture, language, population, government system, which is its parliamentary or its political system, current leaders, current interesting places and interesting facts about it. And in this part of that area actually lends itself to the use of diagrams and photographs. The flag could be of interest and stuff like that. So again, you can use all those things, pictures and images and whatnot, but you need to be able to cite all those sources of information. So the written project is 20%, and it's going to be graded again, content 60%, organization of your paper, because it's a larger paper, I'm putting a little more marks into that area of 10%. Language usage is 10%. Citation is 10%, because by this time you should have more than one person working on citation. So I expect, but the same 15% similarity rating is required. And then you're required to present your findings of all those questions and research in a 20-minute oral presentation that will be worth 10 marks. And that will be marked by looking at content 60%. So here I'm looking that you answer all the questions, that you've met everything that we asked for in the questions. I'm asking to see that you present responses. Now, we don't want all the details. We just need highlights. We don't need every single thing. Presentation skills that we're going to be looking at will be, your ability to speak fluently, present without reading too much of what's on the screen, looking at the quality of your PowerPoint presentation, so it shouldn't be too wordy. You all are familiar with this. How many of you all have done COM 118 or COM 108?
I did so.
Yeah, I did as well.
I did also.
Right, so COM 118 or 108 would teach you how to do oral presentations, and I'm looking for you to apply those skills. So there are a couple of people who are just, at least 2 people in class right now that are relatively new, so they may need some coaching in relation to that. The older hands of this should understand what they're doing, and of course, citation. So when you're doing presentations, citation is of 2 parts. The citation can be on the slide itself. Right on the image, you'd see a little bracket, small writing. It doesn't have to be large, small writing that indicates the source of the photograph or the information. And of course, down at the end, you can provide a couple of slides with the full citation list or bibliography or works references list. All right, that makes sense so far? So additional to that, we're going to be utilizing a peer evaluation system, and I will decide whether or not everybody has to do it or just 1 or 2 groups. So basically how I work this out is that peer evaluation is going to work. If a group is having problems, then I'll ask that group for everybody to fill out a peer evaluation and submit it into the e-classroom. Once I get that, those peer evaluation scores, they are then utilized to determine an average for each student. And let's say, for example, you did your presentation and you read your project, and your project ended up with a score of 95%. But if your peer evaluation score came up as 80%, all you're going to get is 80% of 95. So it's a modifier system. So what I'm asking is people to work beyond the normal group issues. And if we do have issues, let's deal with them together. So if you are having problems, you'd see in red here, if you're having problems, you're having issues, contact me so we can pull the group together and kind of pull it square. All right, and deal with it without it can't be coming up as a last minute thing. If there's a problem, let me know about it. And you're going to find I'm going to be keep on asking people on a regular basis, how is it going? What's happening? Everybody's contributing. If they're not, hang back in class. Let's have a chat about it and talk about it. I want to confront any issues, because I know there are problems. People work, people have private issues going on in their life, and it can step into the way, and therefore it can impact upon things. So, things aren't cast in stone. So connected to this is the group pair evaluation sheet, which is a score sheet of 25 questions that you score between 0 and 4. So the maximum mark you can get is 100, and the minimum you could get is 0. Each question carries that score of 0 to 4. So there are 25 questions, so the maximum, as I said, you can get is 100%. This is the rubric for the presentation. So you see what I'm looking for. Now, there's some things like eye contact and whatnot that we have to kind of not worry about, because video is a little more different to that. There's one thing that tends to happen. Sometimes people are not available for a presentation. Let's say they can't schedule, because we already have the date for the thing. Most of you could try and schedule it, but sometimes the way our employers behave, you may not be able to get the time, especially as we get closer to Christmas or you just get into the new year. You might find yourself under a lot of pressure at work. So one of the things that I've found that makes sense in the online presentations is that a student who's likely to be absent can record their piece of the presentation and pass it on to the group, and they can do their play that out. But I don't want an entire presentation recorded and then played back for us. That kind of defeats the purpose. But of course, I need to know about that beforehand so that I can approve it. Yes, that makes sense?
Yes, sir. So sorry to interrupt you.
Yep, no problem.
Just identify for me if I missed the selection of group members is to be done by.
We haven't done that yet. We're gonna go. That's where we're going into now.
Okay, sir. No problem.
All right. All right. So the last thing in the document here is your group project rubric, which basically lays out how the scores or how the marks are going to be laid out for the marking of the group itself. That's the written part. This is for the oral presentation part. All right. So any questions thus far? See, we are 24, so we've been losing some people along the way and then gaining people. All right, so I've been doing a lot of talking, so I know people must have questions. They must want some sort of clarification of things.
So I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
It was from a while in the presentation. It said once it passes 4 pages, I missed out the last part of that
statement.
Yeah.
All right, so generally the rule is once an assignment passes 4 pages in length, you must then start to put in a table of content and of course a title page. But generally all assignments, regardless of their length, require a title page. The assignments that you are doing are going to be well beyond 4 pages in length, just because of the way it has to be laid out and organized. So without exception, I expect for all the assignments that you're doing, there will be a title page, there will be a table of contents, and there will be page numbering for your assignments across the board. Hi, John, welcome back. All right, that making sense now, Ravi?
Yes, sir, thanks.
Okay, so it's kind of like a consistent type of thing. It's because I don't want to see people sending me assignments that they look like what I see students doing in CXC. We're well beyond that at this point in time. You're doing academic papers for academic analysis and for marks for that sense. All right, so any other questions? A clarification on what went on before? No? Mr. Batista, see like you're turned on there. Want to ask something?
Oh, no, sorry, sir. No, I don't have any questions.
All right, so I've been doing a lot of talking, and what I need for you guys to do is we have 26 people in class. Not everybody is here right now. So what I would like to do is I'd like to set up 5 groups of 5 apiece, and one group will end up with a 6th person. But I don't want to put you into groups. I would prefer that you guys talk among yourselves in class now and determine who you are, and then I'll go on the system and set you all up into the groups. All right. You all can, that's why you did introductions to kind of find out a little bit about yourselves. But it's not because everybody, you don't want all the IT fellas by themselves and that kind of stuff. Kind of mix it up a bit. Get to know each other. Get to broaden your knowledge of people and that kind of stuff. So, but I'm gonna leave it to you all. So you have the WhatsApp group that's open. You all can chat on that as well, and you could also talk in this forum here. But I'm gonna give you all about 10, let's say about 15 minutes to talk, start to pull together a group, and then I want to set the groups in the e-classroom. All right, but I'm going to give you all some time to talk to each other and kind of get. I'm leaving the recording on while this is going on. All right, I want to document the process as well. All right, guys, get started.
So hi, afternoon everyone. I guess we have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So I would like to know if Robin, Rosanna, Crystal, Janelle would like to be in a group with me.
I have no problem.
I have no problem.
Anybody has any other obligation anywhere else, or can I? Okay. So I'll confirm. So I have Crystal, Janelle, Robin, Rosanna, and myself as a group.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds nice. Thank you guys so much.
Okay. Stay. Okay.
Okay, guys, anybody wants to join my group can be on at right
Yeah, sure, I'll be done.
Iman?
Yeah, sure, Ravi.
There is no one here.
Anybody else? Sarah?
I'll go with it.
How much people left? There's 5?
2 more persons?
Could you tell me what's Robin's surname? I'm not seeing him here.
Robin Bash.
Bash. Thank you.
2 more persons to do the group. So far we have Iman and Sarah.
How many people in that second group?
3 so far.
Can I join? Gabrielle?
Hi, can I join as well?
Oh my, people then?
Well, one group has to have 6.
Could be the group with 6. That.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to walk away for a second. I missed anything?
The total for the second group member would be, the members would be 6 members, right?
Yeah, it had to have one group at 6, I think.
Okay,
But
so
all the others at 5.
do we have to, like, in the messages probably put who the members in which group would be, just so we can keep track of it, I guess?
Yeah, that
I
makes
think that would
sense.
be good, so that nobody will get double picked.
Yeah, that
It'll
sounds
be
great.
easier to first to put in the e-classroom when
So
everything.
maybe we could send our names and the group number, or one person, probably like a group lead, could make a compilation of all the members' names just to make it easier.
Well, from what I know, 2 people make groups so far, so they could just put the names of whoever in their groups in just the chat here.
Okay,
So we
no
have an
problem.
idea just
So
for right now.
it's Emon, right? Or Amon?
Yeah,
Emon?
Iman.
Right. Emon, would it be you, Kevion, that making that message?
I'd probably be Kevion because I was not paying attention to everybody else.
Okay, no problem.
I have the names and you want to
I didn't hear
What was
you
it?
there.
The names carry on.
messages?
Okay, yeah, I will do it.
Okay, no problem.
Hi everyone, asking anybody from group 1 to post up our names please. I am not on WhatsApp right now. Thanks. So we have 2 groups so far, right?
Okay. Hi, Annalisa. I am not on WhatsApp as well. The names can be posted up in the chat here.
Yeah, that probably makes sense because everybody here, anyways. If
Oh,
anything,
yeah.
we could basically chat later.
Yeah, that could work too. Hi, anybody would like to join me in group 3?
Yes, me. Yes, I would too.
Okay, I'll try.
I would too.
I want to join too.
Okay.
Yes, Kimberly, Lydia, no problem.
Just put any chat your name and state it please. So I get the name for yourself.
All right, how's it coming along? You're confused? I confused. My name is Wayne. Lots of chats. Did anybody here not join the group chat yet?
I think some people they can't get on WhatsApp right now.
All right.
So I just have a couple
Then
people
what I would
not
tell
in there
them to
yet.
do is to copy the link and store it somewhere where they can get to the link. Or they can give their numbers to made a number of people administrators. Just sort of arbitrarily set up some administrators there. See a picture here already. Ravi, you sent out a picture. Let's see who I made administrators.
Oh. I'm an admin here, so if anybody want to get added, they could just submit a number or something.
So I can't tell who's here because people don't really they're not tagging their names on the thing. But Ravi, you're not set up as an admin yet. Let me make you one. At least the thing. I've made Natasha Brown, Peruse.
So which Ravi you're talking about?
You're an admin as well. Not sure. There's some people here with photos on their profiles, but no names. So, be a good idea for you guys to tag your name so we know who you are. If we have to message you directly and stuff. All right. Okay, so Miss Pau has raised her hand. Lee Pau, what's up? Shirley? Is she putting her hand up for
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Oh yes, I was trying to join group 4 because I'm in and out of the charter.
All right,
So because I'm working.
All right. Is group 4 still have room?
Excuse me, sir. It had 10 people saying they want to be in group 3, and I'm kind of confused. So, we have.
All right, let's start to let me present again, and I'll start to show you how we're gonna get this organized. All right. All right. So we're gonna assign the groups inside here. So let's start to put people in groups, right? Who so far has identified for group 1?
So for group 1 is Annalisa Villafana.
All right, hold on. I have to find the names here. All right. Yep.
Janelle O'Brien, myself.
Say that again. You're kind of soft.
Janelle O'Brien.
O'Brien.
I think it was Miss. I'm not too sure of the 3 names because everyone was speaking at the same time. So I think the 3 other members who wanted to be in group 1, can you please state your name? I didn't get.
Crystal Clark.
Crystal Clark.
Crystal Clark.
Yeah.
Who again?
So I have Robin Bash and Rosanna Bigfoot.
For the same group?
Same group, sir.
Bigfoot and who again? Bash?
Robin Bash. Yeah.
All right. So that's you all did 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. All right. So group 2, I see has All right, so group 2, I'm seeing a list on the WhatsApp chat here. I'm seeing Abida Bukas, Kevin John, Miss John, Ravi, Gulcharan, Ravi Hussein, Sarah, hello. I'll eventually get that name right, okay? And Mr. Batiste, Ruben Batiste. So you all have 6. So all the other groups have to set up with 5, okay? All right, so let's add and remove people for group 6, for group 3. Now the group names will change based upon the countries you all end up doing, okay? All right, so who's in group 3?
I am group 3, LaShawn.
Ali,
Anastasia Stevenson.
LaShawn Nelson.
all right, hold on. I just want to try something here. It's Anastasia who? Stevenson.
Yes, sir.
And who again?
LaShawn Nelson.
Say that again.
LaShawn Nelson.
LaShawn.
Mm-hmm. Natasha Purdy.
Brown.
Felicia Edwards.
Okay. Felicia Edwards. So that's 5, right? Selena Ali, Tasha Brown, Felicia Edwards, LaShawn Nelson, and Anastasia Stevenson. All right, so that's group 3. Fourth group. Who's in group 4 so far? I know Shirley said she was going to go into group 4.
Yes, sir.
Woo! Kimberly Bernard. Not Bernard, it'll be Didier.
Yes, Didier.
No, we're not hearing anything. What about Megan?
Yes, sir.
Are you in group 4, Kimberly? Somebody needs to check. Damien is not here. Damien Clogan, I haven't seen him for the morning. Everybody else.
So group 4 is Celeste, Wilson, Kimberly, Didier,
Right,
Gabriel Martin.
Stop. Celeste who?
Wilson. Kimberly, Didier.
Alright, that is, I have her here as Kimberly Bernard. Don't worry about the name. The Bernard is just the issue with her maiden name kind of thing. Who again?
Gabriel Martin.
Martin. Did you have Shirley Lipao?
Yes, Shirley Lipao.
And that's 4 so far.
And Devon McNeil.
Devon McNeil. Alright, that's 5 there. Alright, let's go back now. We have group 5. So group 5 should be easy. It should be Megan, Bijou.
Yes, sir.
Megan. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Alright, Damian Clouden, Avalon Gardner, Karen Mirage, Stacia Torres. That should be it, correct? Now I know you guys would not have met Mr. Clouden yet, because as I said, he hasn't he didn't come class today. So the only person not assigned to a group is myself. So what you will see happening now. All right, so this is the overview of the groups here. So we have 6 in one group, 5 by 5 by 5. Right? So we have the 26 people assigned. So what will happen now is when you go to the group assignment, you would notice that the groupings will start to come up. So that when one person submits in a group, it will submit for everybody. That make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that, like, if you go. All right, so there are 5 entries here, so we should have 5 different. It's because nobody's made submissions yet. That's why I'm not getting them. Students. I will haven't. Oh, okay. I need to roll you guys to turn it in. All right. So we have our group in space. All right. So what I want you guys to do in your groups now is I want you guys to get together and start to tell me what. Can I come up with a list of maybe 2 or 3 countries you all might be interested in researching? And my advice to you is choose countries that you're interested in learning something about. All right, because if you're interested in the group or the country, sorry, you'd be a little more enthusiastic about doing the necessary research for the class. So what I want to do is that I want to actually get some ideas of what I want to do now. So like I'll make some notes in the system here in the group description as to the countries that you're looking at. But I know I need to give you all a little time to discuss it among the groups now to be able to do that. That sounds all right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm gonna pause off on my end and give you all some time to discuss everything and come up to with some ideas. So you could use the chat here. You can use the WhatsApp chat and just sort of kind of get things going backward and forward. Miss Bigfoot, you keep on leaving on your microphone and you're getting
I'm getting a little technical difficulties. For some reason, I'm not getting it off.
Off?
Off, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What happened? I got a break in transmission with you, and then when it came back, how the volume wasn't going.
Well, what you can do is you can exit and come back. It might
Okay.
correct.
Will do.
Try that and see. Looks like you're having problems moving yourself.
So just to remind me, where can I find the link for the WhatsApp group, please?
In the chat.
In the chat itself. All right.
Yeah. Well, let me post it again just so it's closer. I just posted it to the chat there now. All right, guys. See what's going on. What countries you all want to do per groups?
Hi, if anyone from group 1 has any suggestions, no problem. I have 3. I have South Korea, Japan, and Jamaica.
What's the first one?
South Korea,
Mhm.
Japan, and Jamaica.
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't know if anybody from Group 2 have any suggestions for countries we could do. Speak now if I will hold your peace. I don't know.
Um,
Hi, so I thinking we could do Barbados as well.
Oh, okay.
Any more suggestions?
Carry on. Could you message? Have you already messaged in the WhatsApp group by chance?
Yeah, I just messaged.
Okay, well, we're making a separate group to discuss any ideas. So it's already made. We just have to add you to it.
Okay, no problem.
Hi guys, for members of Group 1, do you all want time to think about it or and make a WhatsApp group later, or what's your suggestion?
I have one suggestion.
So, yes, Rosanna, sorry.
Yes, I have one suggestion. I don't know if you all would be interested. I would be interested in Guyana because see, Guyana have been boosting with regards to their economic activities. So I don't know if you all, anybody, if you all interested. If not, we'll go with something else.
That kind of sounds nice. We put it up on the listing. I mean, we could always finalize as we go down and through the process of elimination.
Okay, sure.
Hi everyone, Shirley from Group 4. Just put up some listings. Norway, China, Barbados, Guyana. If those are some of the countries I thought about, but I have to leave now because I have to continue working. So I'm going to leave the chat so you all could contact me on WhatsApp. Okay, sir. Have a good day. And everybody, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Group 3, anybody have any suggestions? I was thinking Jamaica. I don't know if you all have any other suggestions.
I was actually thinking Jamaica and the other like Caribbean country that has like a lot of tourism, which is like Barbados.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Um, yeah, but I find like I don't really have a lot of information. Like from past research I have done, I find that some information is limited. So I'm not sure about saying that. I actually making a group for a WhatsApp group for group 3. So I'll send the link onto the class group chat for group 3 members.
Did any group confirm Their country, is it?
No, I don't think so.
No group confirm any country. We're just going through like the
I'm just going through the options right now.
options
We'll narrow it down at some point.
All right, how are we going? Some decisions have been made.
Is Kimberly here?
Aye. Okay, so the members of Group 1, have you all made some choices? Now, the choices don't have to be forever, okay? I mean, while you're doing your research in the first couple of weeks, you'll find a different option or a different country. What I'm trying to do is to avoid people duplicating countries. So if a representative from Group 1 can speak for what's happening thus far, or any group that's ready or think they're ready with some choices.
So, well, like you said, nothing is set in stone. So we have so far South Korea, Japan, Jamaica, and Guyana.
All right, so start again. South
Korea, Japan, Jamaica, and Guyana. And I don't know at this point if anybody else wants to add in anything one time as we have, sir.
Well, that's a good set to start with. What I would suggest you do is you begin the process of researching this stuff. Set some people up to see how easy it is. There are two things you want to do. You want to see how easy it is to get the information and how reliable the information is. So some countries might, be problematic than others. So anybody from Group 2 is ready, or Group 3 or 4 or 5?
Hi, Sir Ravi Hussein here. We still choosing. We're not ready as yet.
All right, okay. So what about Group 3? As Ali, Brown, Edwards, Nelson, and Stevenson.
So we are still discussing. Yeah.
Group 4. Bernard, Lipau, Martin, McNeil, and Wilson. Russian Orleans. And Group 5.
So we still discussing. Group 4 still discussing.
Right, okay. And then, well, you know what Group 1 already chose, right? So try not to duplicate the choices of other groups if you can. So Group 5, we have Bijou. Well, Claudine isn't here. Hopefully we'll get in contact with him. What I can do is give you all, well, I'll talk to Group 5 when they're available. Gardner, Maharaj, and Torres. If somebody's absent right now from the class, I'll give you all their email address so that you all could communicate directly with them to let them know what's going on. Invite them to your. I see you all setting up private WhatsApp groups for your groups. That's a good idea to begin the process of communicating effectively and efficiently. So I'll give you all Mr. Clouden's email address so that you all can communicate with him directly. Because I guess he may have had some issue today.
So you could just show back the names on group 5, please. Thanks.
So Ravi Gultran from Group 2 here. We agreed to work with Venezuela.
Only Venezuela?
Venezuela is just the biggest choice we have right now.
Right, so I don't want to disappoint you all too much, but Venezuela is a little tricky to get reliable information on right now because of the situation going on there. But I'm going to leave it on the list, but I'm hoping that you'll realize that when you all start to do some research.
You think it would make sense for us to just give you all the options we have?
Yeah, that's what I want to get. I want to get what options you're looking at so that I can just take a note, make sure you're not duplicating each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Besides Venezuela, what y'all have?
We have Guyana.
Another group is already kind of listed that already.
We had Singapore.
We had Singapore as well.
Singapore, all right.
And Cuba, I'm seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
Cuba.
Yeah, and also Barbados.
Barbados. That's good. The one y'all could go ahead and try research in Venezuela, but reliability of data for them right now is tricky.
Okay.
Because of the current political situation there. All right, but you all have a good start, at least with the other three. But still, if you all want to try Venezuela, try seeing how easy it is to get relevant data for them. Okay?
All right, sir.
All right, any other group
Thanks for
ready
the
now?
advice.
So,
Yes?
yes, group 4 is ready.
Okay.
Group 4 is interested in doing Cuba, China, and England. If that's available.
So Cuba is not necessarily available another group ticket, but China is.
Okay.
China and what?
England.
England, yeah, England is ready.
So it's fine.
Yeah, y'all could work from 2 as long as y'all get to the point of coming to 1.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Unless y'all want to suggest a third option that is available now. Talk to your group members and see.
So, group 4 here again is France, is the third option.
Okay. Good. So you'll have 3 good countries there to make some decisions with. All right. So I think anybody from group 3, you're ready, or group 5? The other groups kind of.
Group 3, nothing else to say.
Say that again. Group what?
Nothing yet from group 3 yet to say.
Oh, nothing yet. Okay. So you guys are the last 2 groups to make some choices.
Hi, sir.
Yep.
For group 3, we have Saudi Arabia, Canada, and Grenada.
Group
As
3?
our choices, yeah.
Say that again. You kind of quiet there.
Saudi Arabia, Grenada, and Canada.
Saudi, Saudi Arabia,
Grenada, and Canada.
Okay, I think Canada is already taken, you know.
Oh, okay.
Just now, let me check and see. Okay, no, it's not.
No?
So you're safe with that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Saudi Arabia, Grenada, and Canada. All right, cool. As I said, I'll recommend that you all start the process of sharing out thing and starting to do some of the basic research to find out what you all could find out about it. And know I'll have to guide you all a little bit into some of this stuff as well. All right.
Okay, sir.
Right, we're waiting on one more group.
So group 5 here.
Huh?
Group 5. We would either go with St. Vincent, Brazil, or Australia.
All right, so St. Vincent. What was the second one? Brazil. And Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Australia. Okay, cool. Right. So I think every group has a selection of countries. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Each group has a...
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Good, good, good. So now what's going to happen is that you guys have to look at your begin to look at your countries and kind of like give everybody a country to start doing some of the basic research from the question itself, to see how you're looking for two things primarily. You're looking for how easy it is to gather data and how reliable that data is going to be. Because you all have some statistical data to get, you all also have to get some country analysis data. So you know relatively how easily you can get the information necessary for the class, for the research. That makes sense? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That
sir.
makes sense.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. All right, so what I want to do, I want to stop the recording now because I just want to kind of like close off the class. Oh, that's one thing. Remember, the class time is going to move to 1 o'clock on a Saturday to give people time to settle themselves for lunch. And that the person who is absent, whose group is group 5, I think it is, the person who's absent, Damian Clouden.
So the group 4 is missing someone.
Okay, one person. Lafana, is it group 5 that has that, or Batiste?
No, sir. We have Clark, O'Brien, Bash, Bigford. You need us to add somebody else?
No. Which group has
Group 2 has
Yeah,
6 people.
group 2 has 6 people.
No, you all have, everybody was in class today, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a group where one person was absent, Damien Clouden. Which group is that?
Group 5.
I think so. Group 5. That's you, Natasha?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're going to need his email address, right? And his email address is 000187772 at my.costat.edu.tt. You got that?
Excuse me. This group 4 is missing Kimberly Didier. She was here, and I'm not seeing her responding in our the.
Right. So she may have had a problem. So she's on the system here as Bernard, I think. Just now, let me check it. Yeah, Kimberly Bernard. Her email address is 100015533 at my.costa.edu.tt. Now Damien has been on the class, the e-class, so he should be able to respond to your emails. As I said, he may have to work today or something. So his email address is 18772, and you could send them a link for your WhatsApp chat and everything one time. All right. Same thing with Miss Didier. All right. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
All right. So I want to. I'm gonna stop the recording now. So